Well, if you try to describe Donald Trump in one word, today you might choose the word contempt. That's definitely the word that I would choose today. Donald Trump has always seethed contempt. Contempt at me more than 10 years ago when I was the first person to call him a liar, first person in this business to call him a liar for what he was saying about President Obama's birth certificate. That contempt eventually spread to the entire American news media, with Donald Trump contemptuously calling all of us the enemy of the people. Donald Trump had contempt for every Republican candidate who ran against him for the Republican nomination in 2016. He called Senator Rafael Cruz lying Ted. He called Marco Rubio Little Marco. He gave out Lindsey Graham's private cell phone number publicly to contemptuously harass Lindsey Graham. Donald Trump has always been this way for his entire adult life, or certainly his entire public life in New York City. He has always been contemptuous of anyone who didn't praise him. That was his standard. Praise him or you get his contempt. Donald Trump is contempt personified, and today he takes his place in history as the first former president of the United States to be held in contempt of court by a judge. We will cover the official finding of Donald Trump's lifetime of contempt later in this hour when his niece, Mary Trump, joins our discussion. We begin tonight with Donald Trump's contempt for Congress on the day when he urged a Trump mob of Republicans to go to the Capitol and fight like hell. Those were his words on January 6th, fight like hell. And his mob did that. We have more information today about Republicans who believed at the time that Donald Trump was in control of the Trump mob at the Capitol and that Donald Trump had the power to stop the attack on the Capitol that he had encouraged. CNN is reporting on newly revealed text messages in possession of the January 6th committee. And in messages the committee obtained from Donald Trump's last chief of staff, Mark Meadows, Donald Trump's third fired White House chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, texted his successor, Mark Meadows, during the attack on the Capitol, Mark, he needs to stop this now. Can I do anything to help? Mick Mulvaney does not say he needs to try to stop this now. Mick Mulvaney obviously believed that it was fully within Donald Trump's power, his personal power, to tell his mob attacking the Capitol to stop, and they would stop immediately. That's clearly what Mick Mulvaney thinks in that text. Donald Trump's first fired chief of staff, Reince Priebus, texted his successor, Mark Meadows, at the White House, tell them to go home. Reince Priebus believed Donald Trump had the power to tell attackers to go home, and they would simply give up on their ambition, their dream to hang Mike Pence. They would give up their dream to kill Nancy Pelosi, because Reince Priebus believed the Republicans attacking the Capitol were under Donald Trump's personal control. Congressman William Timmons texted Mark Meadows, the president needs to stop this ASAP. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene knew what Donald Trump should do during the attack on the Capitol. At 2:28 p.m., she texted Mark Meadows saying, please tell the president to calm people. This isn't the way to solve anything. Reporting by Bob Woodward and Robert Costa in their book Peril indicates that while Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, please tell the president to calm people, the president was watching TV and enjoying, reveling in the attack on the Capitol. Sometimes the curtain never gets pulled back like this, and you can spend the rest of your life wondering, who is stupider, Donald Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene? Now, thanks to the January 6th committee, we have an answer. Marjorie Taylor Greene knew what Donald Trump should do when the Capitol was attacked, and Donald Trump did not. Donald Trump was enjoying the show on television, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was telling him this isn't the way to solve anything. Donald Trump Jr. has spent his entire life watching up close just how stupid and incompetent his father is. And so he knew during the attack on the Capitol that his father would have no idea what to do. He also appears to have known that none of the people working for his father knew what to do. And so Donald Trump Jr. urgently texts Mark Meadows to tell the White House Chief of Staff something that Donald Trump Jr. believes that the White House Chief of Staff doesn't understand, and he knows for certain that his father doesn't understand. Donald Trump Jr., his text says he's got to condemn this crap ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. And then Donald Trump Jr. felt he had to text Mark Meadows again, saying, this is one you go to the mattresses on. They will try to screw his entire legacy on this if it gets worse. For those of you who've been wondering who is stupider, Donald Trump or Donald Trump Jr., there is no mystery left to that. As stupid as Donald Trump Jr. so obviously is, he is easily smarter than his father. In that text, Donald Trump Jr. knows that the Trump presidency is over. Donald Trump Jr. is not stupidly staring at a TV cheering for the attackers in the Capitol, thinking that they are going to rescue the Trump presidency from Congress's certifying the Electoral College vote in favor of Joe Biden, and then assuring that Donald Trump will be inaugurated a second time on January 20th. Donald Trump Jr. knows all of that is madness, just madness, and that the only thing still at stake for Donald Trump while the Capitol is being attacked is Donald Trump's legacy, because the Trump presidency is over. They will try to screw his entire legacy on this if it gets worse. That's what Donald Trump Jr. said, and it got worse. Donald Trump Jr. was right. His father got impeached again. And in his father's impeachment trial in the Senate, the most bipartisan vote for conviction in history was delivered in the Senate with a solid majority of 57 senators voting guilty. And yes, the first sentence of Donald Trump's legacy will include the phrase twice impeached. Donald Trump's best friend at Fox, Sean Hannity, urgently texted Mark Meadows during the attack on the Capitol, can we make a statement, ask people to leave the Capitol? Sending that text means that Sean Hannity believed two things. One, that Donald Trump did have the power over the mob at the Capitol, and two, that Donald Trump was not going to ask the mob at the Capitol to leave. And no one working for Donald Trump was going to tell Donald Trump that he should tell his mob at the Capitol to leave the Capitol. Sean Hannity knows Donald Trump very, very well. Donald Trump Jr. knows Donald Trump very well. And they were both sure that Donald Trump was not going to do the right thing on his own during the attack on the Capitol. That's why they were texting Mark Meadows. 2 weeks after the attack on the Capitol, Sean Hannity sent an I told you so text of sorts to Mark Meadows. The text says, well, this is as bad as this can get. And the text links to this video of Mitch McConnell speaking on January 19th.
The mob was fed lies. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people. And they tried to use fear and violence to stop a specific proceeding of the first branch of the federal government, which they did not like. But we pressed on. We stood together and said an angry mob would not get veto power over the rule of law in our nation